So let's start this deep dive with a scenario that's honestly just chilling. Imagine this. It's a Tuesday afternoon, Buckingham Lake, this kind of upscale condo building. Bryden Frost, she's an accountant, maybe in her 30s, working from home. Unit 804, everyone says she's super reliable, devoted mom.
Right.
But then, 5 o'clock hits. Time to pick up her little girl, Clara, who's 3, from Dandelion Daycare. And Bryden, she just doesn't show.
Yeah.
And apparently, she never misses that pickup.
Never. And when her husband, Sam Frost, gets home, the condo looks normal. Bryden's car, it's an older Volvo. It's parked right downstairs in the garage where it should be.
Okay.
But inside the apartment, her phone is there, her handbag, everything she'd need to actually, leave on her own. It's all just sitting there. She's just gone.
That's instant panic territory.
Absolutely terrifying.
Yeah.
And our sources really take us inside the whole investigation, led by a detective, Jane Salter. We're looking at a case that, well, it gets complicated fast.
Right.
Police missteps, some major security issues, and then just layers of betrayal and secrets start coming out. Yeah.
So our mission today is basically to untangle all that. Figure out who really killed Bryden Frost. Because it turns out pretty much everyone close to her was hiding something big.
It really is a textbook case of how messy evidence gets when the victim's life isn't quite what it seems on the surface, And that initial scene, it really set the boundaries for everything that followed.
Okay, so let's go back to Unit 804, right after Sam gets there. He finds her computer still open.
Yeah, on the dining room table. And the last document save time is stamped 12:42 p.m.
12:42 p.m. So that really narrows the window for when something happened, sometime shortly after lunch.
That timestamp is basically the last proof of life for Bryden. But here's the thing, the huge issue that the killer probably banked on, and it really hammered the police right from the start.
What's that?
The condo building's underground parking garage. It had this brand new, supposedly state-of-the-art CCTV system.
Okay.
It was defective, just installed, found faulty. It wasn't recording at all.
Wait. A luxury building like that, and the main security point, the garage entry and exit, the cameras are dead.
Exactly. Total failure. It meant anyone, resident, visitor, doesn't matter, could get in or out through that garage completely unseen. And crucially...
You can move something large out.
Precisely. Like a body, perhaps in a suitcase, without anyone seeing them or even the car they used. A massive blind spot.
Okay, so naturally, Detective Salter and her team, their first focus has got to be the husband, Sam Frost. The distraught
Well, I
husband.
think always the first call, right?
Yeah.
Statistically. And the detectives noted he looked pretty rough, disheveled, hands visibly shaking when they first talked to him. Plus, his alibi was weak. Said he went out around noon, long lunch break, grabbed some takeout, ate alone in Washington Park.
Alone. Unverified.
Totally unverified, just his word for it.
So, yeah, on paper, he looks not great. But then the neighbors start talking, and it gets a bit confusing. Bryden had a friend nearby.
Yeah, Angela Romano, down the hall in Unit 808. She tells the police Sam and Bryden were solid, seemed happy, even trying for another baby. She points out they had baby gear in their storage locker downstairs as proof.
Okay, so that sounds positive. Trying for another kid?
It paints that picture, yeah, the happy couple facade. But then Angela also kind of spills the beans on the flip side. She told the police Bryden complained quite a bit about Sam.
Oh, about what?
Well, they both earned good money, both accountants, equal salaries. But Bryden felt like she was doing way more of the child care, the housework, the mental load.
That classic imbalance.
Exactly. So it suggests this undercurrent of maybe resentment, friction over fairness, even if it wasn't obvious to everyone.
Right. Okay, so the initial search of the apartment finds nothing. But then the case takes a really grim turn, and it's because of Bryden's sister, Lizzie.
Yes, Lizzie Hauser. She apparently pushed the police quite hard to bring in a canine unit. Felt like the standard searches weren't enough.
And did they?
They did. They brought in a cadaver dog named Brutus, and Brutus led them straight downstairs to the basement storage area. Now, this area, locked. Only residents with a key could get in.
Okay, so that tells you the killer had building access, not just some random person off the street.
Right, definitely.
Yeah.
And inside one of the storage lockers, they found Bryden's body. It was sealed inside a suitcase.
Oh, God. And not just any suitcase.
No, a very specific one. A large, hard-sided burgundy Samsonite, which Sam Frost later identified as his own.
His own suitcase. That just rockets him back to the top of the suspect list.
Absolutely. Ties him directly to the disposal, if not the murder itself. And the autopsy confirms she'd been asphyxiated. likely a plastic bag held over her head. The police assessment was that the killer was pretty efficient. Minimal fuss, minimal mess, almost like they were trying to make sure little Clara wouldn't be the one to find her mom in the apartment when Sam brought her home.
That's just awful to think about. So, okay, Sam's the prime suspect now. His suitcase, his wife's body, his terrible alibi. But Salter still has to check other leads, right? Any other residents raise flags?
They did look at others, specifically a guy named Henry Kemp who lived on the same floor, Unit 811.
Yeah, why him?
He had a pretty dark cloud hanging over him. There was an unsolved charge from 2 years back, forcible confinement and rape allegation from a woman who worked near his car dealership.
Whoa. Okay, that sounds really serious. Could he have been involved?
You'd think so, right? But this is where solid police work comes in. Salter's team dug into his alibi for the day Bryden died.
Yeah.
It checked out completely. They had customer records, employee statements, even CCTV from his dealership showing he was there on the lot all day long. So, yeah, a guy with a disturbing past, maybe dangerous, but he didn't kill Bryden.
Okay, so Kemp's cleared. They circle back to Sam. But then Sam himself kind of muddies the waters again. He mentioned something about Bryden hitting someone's car.
Yeah, this weird detail comes out. Apparently, Bryden had recently dinged someone's Tesla, and she paid the owner, a guy named Derek Gardner, $2,700 cash for the repair.
Cash? That much? Why not just go through insurance?
Exactly the question the police had. Paying cash like that suggests she was maybe hiding it from Sam, hiding the whole interaction. And just as the police are pondering this, Paige Mason steps in. Remember her? Bryden's best friend, Clara's godmother.
Yeah. What does she do?
Well, when the police talk to her, she drops a bombshell. She suggests Bryden wasn't just paying Derek Gardner for car repairs. She says Bryden was having an affair with him.
Whoa. An affair. Is she trying to help Sam here? Point the finger elsewhere?
Looks like it, doesn't it? Suddenly, the police have this potential love triangle. Did Sam find out? Was he jealous? Or was this Derek guy somehow involved? It definitely throws a spanner in the works.
So they have to investigate Derek Gardner now, this rich, attractive cybersecurity guy. What do they find out about him?
Well, Derek's a bit of a ghost. No social media presence, very lawyered up, hard to pin down.
Okay.
But the background check on his wife, Alice Gardner. Reveals the Bryden Frost investigation.
His wife. What about her?
Get this. 4 years earlier, Alice Gardner inherited $3 million.
Okay.
Because her mother, Mary Smelt, was killed in a hit and run up in New Hampshire, and it was never solved.
Wow. Okay, hit and run. Where does Derek fit in?
Alice gave Derek his alibi for the night her mother was killed. A rock-solid alibi.
Oh, my God. So Alice potentially inherits millions. Derek potentially gets away with murder thanks to her alibi. That suggests their marriage is built on some seriously heavy secrets, maybe even a shared crime.
Exactly. Detective Salter is suddenly looking at a situation where a potential person of interest in her current murder case, Derek, might be married to someone who literally got away with murder years ago.
That is wild. So much suspicion swirling around the Gardners. Do they have anything to do with Bryden?
It took weeks of digging, but no. They confirmed Derek and Alice weren't involved in Bryden's death. But yeah, that investigation definitely exposed their own very shady past. Major distraction, though.
A huge red herring. But while they're chasing down the Gardners, Salter's team keeps the pressure on Sam Frost, right?
Right.
And his story starts to completely unravel.
Oh, totally collapses. They dig deeper, and two major things come out.
What are they?
First, Bryden's medical records. They find an entry from about a month before she died. She had a cracked rib.
A cracked rib?
Yeah. She told the doctor she fell, denied any abuse. But, I mean, a cracked rib. It screams domestic violence, gives Sam a potential motive rooted in control, maybe violence.
Okay, that's bad. What's the second thing?
The alibi. His flimsy eating takeout in the park story, he finally cracks.
He wasn't there, was he?
Nope. He admits where he really was during that long lunch walk, around the time Bryden was killed.
Yeah.
Visiting his drug dealer. He had a serious opioid habit, oxycodone, that he was desperately trying to hide from Bryden, from his job, from everyone.
Oh, wow. So that confession, that's huge. It doesn't just give him another motive hiding the addiction, maybe arguing about it. It completely destroys his alibi for the critical time window.
Yeah.
He lied about where he was right when she died.
Exactly. By trying to hide one secret, he basically handed the police proof he was lying about his whereabouts during the murder. He made himself look incredibly guilty. The perfect fall guy, almost.
Unbelievable.
But
okay, while all this is going on with Sam, what about the sister, Lizzie, the one who suggested the canine? You said her involvement seemed Intense.
Intense is one word for it. Manipulative might be another. The investigation uncovered something pretty weird she was doing.
Yeah.
She was active in this Facebook group, True Crimes in Albany, NY, using a fake name, Emma Porter.
And doing what?
Sharing details about her sister's case, confidential stuff that only someone close to the investigation would know. She was playing insider, soaking up the attention almost, enjoying the notoriety from her own sister's murder.
That's disturbing. Helping the police on one hand, exploiting the tragedy for online clout on the other.
Right. It's just another layer of deception in this whole mess. Sam's abusive, addicted, lying. Derek and Alice have this potential murder in their past. Lizzie's playing games online. It's like everyone has a hidden agenda. How does Salter cut through all that noise?
Seriously, where does the actual breakthrough come from?
It finally comes from something completely unrelated to all the lies and secrets. It comes down to a single, ordinary detail observed by an eyewitness, a woman named Francine Logan.
And who was she?
Just visiting a friend in the building, Unit 402. She happened to be in the elevator around 1:30 p.m. that day, and she saw someone in there with a large suitcase.
Sam's suitcase.
She couldn't be sure who it was, but she remembered two crucial details about the suitcase itself. First, she recalled seeing the faint outline, like the sticky residue, of a distinctive red and yellow sticker, which matched the sticker Sam confirmed was on his suitcase.
Okay, confirms the suitcase movement time. What's the second detail?
A person's phone rang while they were in the elevator together, and Francine remembered the ringtone. It was Bittersweet Symphony by The Verve.
Bittersweet Symphony. Wow, that's tragically fitting. And a specific ringtone like that, it's so personal. Something a killer might not even think to change in the moment. That's the key.
That's the thread they pulled. They traced that specific, fairly unique ringtone. Who in Bryden's circle used that exact ringtone? Only one person.
Who?
Paige Mason.
No. Bryden's best friend. Claire's godmother.
The very same. The one who tried to frame Derek Gardner with the affair story. The one who, it turns out, was Sam's secret lover.
So when they confront Paige.
She has a story ready. She confesses, but not to murder. She says Sam killed Bryden, claimed they argued, he snapped, and then he called her in a panic.
Called her.
Do what?
To help him cover it up. She says she only acted as an accessory after the fact. Her role, she claims, was just moving that big, very recognizable suitcase of Sam's down to the storage locker using the elevator because Sam was too panicked and recognizable himself. She admits she made up the Derek Gardner affair story just to throw the police off Sam's trail. Hang on. That doesn't quite make sense, does it? If Sam killed Bryden in the apartment, why call his lover to come over and move his suitcase, drawing her into it and risking her being seen? Why wouldn't he just move it himself later?
That's exactly the flaw Salter and her team jumped on. It felt off. Too convoluted for a panicked cover-up. Why involve Paige in the riskiest part? Unless
Paige was the one who needed to move the suitcase because she was the killer.
Exactly. They put it all together. The 12:42 p.m. last computer activity, the quick, efficient killing, Paige's known access to the apartment, her obsession with Sam, her desire to maybe step into Bryden's life.
Oh my God, the final devastating truth.
Paige Mason was the killer. She murdered Bryden probably very shortly after 12:42, likely driven by her obsession with Sam and wanting to become Clara's new mother. She used the plastic bag, moved the body efficiently in Sam's suitcase down to the locked storage area, a plan executed by someone who needed to get in and out cleanly, someone who wasn't supposed to be the main suspect.
The best friend. The godmother. Just cold-blooded betrayal. And she was so calculating, she murders Bryden and then sets it up perfectly to frame Sam.
Perfectly. She confesses, but crafts the confession to make Sam the murderer and herself just an unwilling helper. And because Sam had already admitted to the abuse, the drug addiction, the lies about his alibi.
Her story sounded completely plausible. He looked guilty already.
Exactly. So Paige Mason is arrested for murder. But her false confession, combined with Sam's own admissions, was enough. Sam Frost was arrested for murder, too. His own secrets made him the ideal scapegoat for Paige's plan.
So really, two victims of Paige's scheme. Bryden, obviously, murdered by her supposed best friend, and Sam, whose own flaws and secrets were twisted to make him the perfect fall guy for his lover's crime. What happened to the others? The Gardners. Lizzie.
Well, Derek and Alice Gardner were clear in Bryden's murder, but yeah, that whole investigation definitely brought their suspicious past, that unsolved hit and run, back into the light, and Lizzie's creepy online activity using the fake persona, that got exposed too.
It's just incredible. A stunning example, really, of how secrets within a marriage, addiction, abuse, how they can be weaponized by someone else with a deadly motive.
It really is. But there's one last little kicker our sources mentioned, kind of a final thought on how these things play out.
Yeah, what's that?
It comes from Alice Gardner, remember, Derek's wife, the one who likely got away with her mother's hit and run years ago, possibly by framing Derek or at least using him for an alibi.
Right, the master manipulator.
Well, after watching Detective Salter work the Bryden Frost case, meticulously gathering evidence, following procedure, Alice apparently reflected that Salter follows the rules.
Follows the rules. Coming from Alice, that sounds almost like a criticism or an observation about a weakness.
Exactly. And it leaves you with this unsettling question, doesn't it? In a world overflowing with information where perception is everything and killers can be incredibly manipulative liars, is the detective who always plays strictly by the rules guaranteed to win, especially against someone like Alice or even Paige, who clearly knew which rules they could bend or break to get away with murder or at least point the finger elsewhere, makes you think.